Morning all, we are back down, we've changed location, back down at RB Bridge, a lovely sunny overcast day, and we're out on this, the GT Max from WK. Love these bikes, absolutely beautiful little 50cc, very very big for a 50, looks more like a 125 from a distance, but it's a 50cc, and slightly bigger than the Lexmoto Echo, and it's got a little bit more torque to it as well. So let's get into the bike. Full digital display dash, horn, indicators, lights, starter button, kill switch, that's all you need. And you've got a drum brake to the rear on this one, disc brake to the front. Now difference being slightly bigger in footroom, seat is a little bit more refined on this. Let's just drop it off the main stand, and it is light as a feather, absolutely light. Now, looking down, you may notice that there is that missing. That goes on the day of registration because we need to get the chassis number from the bike, not from the sticker. On the screen, a fuel tank, which is around about 4 litres. Your revs round here, your mileage at the bottom. Now this does reset every time you turn the bike off. Your trip mileage will reset, but when you put the bike on, you will get your elapsed mileage, 1 mile. So that's how that works, but as soon as you reset, up comes your trip mileage. So battery is now charging at, I'd say about 13.1, 13.5 volts, what it should do. So it should charge more than 12 on this. If it's under halfway, you know you've got a battery issue or a regulator rectifier issue. Let's get some power on. Let's go out and have a ride on this little 50. Now we're just going to wind this up full throttle. And being a 50, I'm not going to get a lot of wind noise, so I can leave the visor up. Hooray! I can get some air across the face. Now, watch this. As soon as you get to 30, wait for the engine tone. Boom, and it hits a brick wall. It will not do any more than 30. Roughly around about 27, 28 mile an hour, which is what you should be doing. If you've got a 50cc license, you shouldn't be going any faster. And people go, but how can we unrestrict it? If you do, you are not riding in accordance with your license. And it has happened recently in Milton Keynes, and someone had the book thrown at them. So out on a little 2T bike, 2-stroker. Let me get the visor down a minute so I can just have a chat. So out on a little 2-stroker, and he was doing, I think, around about 38, 40 mile an hour on his little 2-stroke, whizzing around like an absolute loon. Now, if he had been going sort of that speed, they would have probably just gone past him and thought, all right, he's going downhill, whatever. But he drew attention to himself by riding like an absolute buffoon. So they sat behind him, they tailed him, and clocked him at 38 mile an hour. Gave him a quick tug. How old are you? 16. How long you been riding? Oh, about 3 months. Right. Check the bike, taxed, registered, insured, all good. You do realise that you were over 30 mile an hour on your bike at 16, yeah? Well, your legal limit is 30 mile an hour, and they were just being fussy, finicky coppers, and issued him a ticket for it. Not riding in accordance with the licence, and threw the book at him. I don't know what he got, if he got points or if he got a fine, but they threw the book at him for not riding in accordance with his licence, because at 16 you should be doing a maximum of 28 miles an hour. Even me at 16, when I had my little Pooch Maxi, that thing would only do 25, 30 mile an hour, and you had to pedal to get up the hill as well. So it was an absolute faff. If you want to go faster, wait till you're 17, get your road knowledge together, get to 17, buy yourself a 125. Then you can go faster, but don't go unrestricting one of these. Not only messing around or trying to remap a bike or putting lighter rollers in it. There we go, and it's kicked in again, 29 mile an hour. You can just feel it hits a brick wall at 30, so you're not going to get any faster out of this bike. Even going downhill, it does not like going over 30, and that's all you should be doing. We're going to do a left here. And good display on this, you can really see those telltales very easily. But as a first bike, for the money, these little GT Maxes are absolutely lovely. I do love what WK Bikes put out. They do some really good quality products. I love their Scrambler 125 at the moment. Got another test ride of that coming soon, so we will get out and test ride that as well one more time. If you haven't seen excuse me, the Scrambler 125 video, go and have a look at it. It's really good, and it does look like a full motocross bike now. But for a 50cc, you can't go wrong with a GT Max. And obviously the WK Scramblers in a 50 are still about. There's still some people that have got them. They do a Colt 50. The Colt is still going. Love the Colt. And obviously its bigger brother, the Maverick 125, that is available. Go and have a look at the ride test of that. But they are some great bikes, and this little thing, you chuck it over the bumps, you can feel all the bumps, but it handles well. Even on the bumps, on the potholes, the bike doesn't waver, and it is very light and manageable if you happen to be 16. Now obviously 30-mile-an-hour area, can't go any faster. Braking is really, really good on this. Got a right frog in my throat today. Now, if you happen to watch the live stream last night, a very good live stream on the Midweek Mumble Peaky Biker. I had to jump off halfway through because I had half a dozen phone calls, unfortunately, so I'll catch up with the rest of that this week. But I do get a lot of calls and messages coming in from bikers trying to organise bike meets for me at the moment. And tonight we are out to Oakley Bike Club. So we're going to go and have a ride out to there, take Pillion with me, take Kathy with me. And we're going to have a ride out to Oakley again with the two cameras. My tyres should be here this morning for Rocky. So we're going to obviously start putting the tyres on next week. My Givey luggage is turning up next week as well. We have the bike guy coming down to put a Cat 7 alarm on my bike, and he said, well, while I'm there and I've got the tank off, I'll put your Garmin in for you. Thank you very much. 2 jobs done in one. And then obviously September I have a lot of tours coming up again. Next Sunday we are off to Loomis. So I might have the tyres on by then, but I'm not going to have the Garmin or me new panniers in yet, I don't think, unless I decide to push stuff through and rush it. And I don't like rushing. I like to get everything absolutely spot on. And Zedhead obviously has got a Tiger as well. He has said his ZX9 is almost ready for the summer. That is going to be good to see Zed getting out on his ZX9. And a little bit more footage of him riding his Tiger as well. So 2.4 miles on the bike. We're going to do a little bit up the top, round town. And we're going to rack up about 5 miles to start with. And I'll do the final ride a couple of days before we hand the bike over. But as you would expect from a GT Max, you never have an issue with one of these. Very good bike, and the brakes are super, super good. So ideal first bike if you happen to be 16. And obviously if you want something cheaper, Lexmoto Echo. And there are only a few left at the moment. They had a massive great shipment of bikes from Lexmoto this week. Now obviously you've got to remember there are 120 dealers around the UK. And a load of bikes come in. We managed to get 4 of everything. But ZSBs you can't get hold of, Michigans you can't get hold of. We've sold out of LXRs and LXSs already. The 4 that we had coming are all pre-sold, and we haven't even got the bikes yet. So as soon as they're here, we'll start prepping them for customers. But most of the bikes that were already ordered, that came off the boat in the containers, they are already sold in full. So everything's already sold. You're going left without an indicator, thank you. Now obviously the best thing about this, running around town 30 mile an hour, you're not impeding traffic at all. So if you're using it for like school, college, shopping, going to work, ideal. You get roughly, I'd say 80 to 100 miles to the gallon out of one of these, depending on how far you're pinning that throttle. But 3 miles on the bike. It is great for around town mileage. Tax is cheap as chips, 24 quid. Service only 129.50 for a full service each time it comes in. And that's only going to be, I believe, with the WKs every 1,000 miles. But I would check your spec when you get your thing, because everything's different on bikes. Excuse me. But normally on a 50cc it's every 1,000 miles. Normally. But obviously each dealer or each seller does a different service intervals, so check your service intervals. And talking of servicing, we obviously had a guy in beginning of the week. I went to another bike shop, yeah, okay. Had my service done 3 months ago, and it's due its second service. I've racked the mileage up. Alright, got 2,500 on it. Well done. Which means you can now open the bike up to 55 mile an hour. But he obviously said, oh, what do you do on a service? Well, our standard service, and we do it, come on car, move. Right, I am out of here. Let's go when he decides to move his bum-bums. Oh, park on the double yellows and open your door. Very clever. So, what do you do on a service? First thing is, obviously, oil. Drop the oil. Thimble filter is normally on a 50 or a 125, or it's a mesh filter. Change the filter or clean and replace it. Fresh oil in the bike. Check the airbox, check the air filter. New air filter, or give it a clean and put the old one back in. Depends if it's a washable filter or if it's a paper element one. And I haven't got to worry about a speed camera. Then we do tyre pressures, chain adjust if it's a chain drive bike. Final drive oil check, or change the final drive depending on the mileage, and full bolt check around the bike, tyre pressures, and we do a ride test before it comes in and a ride test after. Well, why do you ride my bike before it's coming in for a service? Just in case whoever's riding it picks up any faults on the bike. And then obviously we take it out, test ride it, make sure there's no engine lights or the bike's not handling as it should. Hit that brick wall, 30 mile an hour, there we go. So that's what we do on a full service. But we go all the way around the bike, check all your bolts. New bike, bolts do come loose. Okay, went round the bike. Where's your side cover missing off your exhaust? Oh, that fell off about a week after my first service. Well, where is it? Oh, it's in my box. So, alright, do you not have it bolt checked? I don't know. So, a couple of new bolts in there, new exhaust guard, check that out, and you do realise that obviously you had 20 psi in the front tyre. Oh, I wonder why it didn't handle very well. Well, yeah, you got 20 psi in your front tyre. Should normally be about 32 for your 125 and 34 to the rear. So we did that for him. Adjusted all his tyre pressures. Did they actually check your tyre pressures? Well, I don't know. I stood watching them, and the service took about 20 minutes. In other words, they've literally just dropped your oil and changed it. And that, how much do they charge you? Oh, theirs was a really good deal, 90 quid. That's why they're charging 90 quid. We've literally just dropped your oil. Did they check your spark plug or change it? No. Right, so yeah, for a 20-minute service you've just been charged nearly 100 quid. Our servicing takes about an hour and a quarter, and we do a full job. So if you are going for a service on your bike, check what they are doing on the service and ask them for a technical sheet when they finish the service. They should give you a technical sheet with what's been done on the bike, and your tyre pressures and your tread depths and your brake pads and everything. We get one of them with every darn bike. And it's just us. It's not being fussy, it's the regulated requirements for a service. It's what you should be doing for your customer. Customers come first. Hence why we test ride. 4.7 miles. By the time I get back to the garage, it's going to be 5. That's the first one done. I have an MOT rolling in about 10 minutes time, and I've got 7 to do today. 7 bike MOTs, back tyre on the BMW R1200 that we did the front discs and calipers on. That's back again, and he got a puncture yesterday on the motorway, so we've got to change that. And my Trailmax Rage should be here as well, so I'm looking forward to getting a photo up of my tyres, and then you can see them being fitted next week. Right, we're back at the garage. Short test ride, 5 miles. That is all done. Taylor is in today doing a turbo. Jeffrey is there. That's ready for his first MOT. There it is. Right, we're going to park the GT up somewhere. We'll get this one put up in my showroom, I think. But test ride is done. Whatever you're doing this week, have yourself a good one. Till the next ride, be well, ride safe, and as always, it's a big goodbye from me.